Good morning, everybody. It is Kelly O'Neill, and I want to welcome you to Training Thursday here in the Profit-preneur Circle. I am just going to give everyone a minute to jump on. This is a really important call that we are having today and free training. So as you jump on, please do introduce yourself. Let us know where you're coming from. Let us know what your business is. If you know your profitpreneur type, let us know that as well. We want to make sure that we can say hi to you and we know who is here and how we can best support you. Good morning, Audra. Good morning, Tracy. All right, I'm seeing you guys all start. Hi, Paula. I'm seeing you guys all start to pop on. So again, you guys introduce yourself as you jump on here. Let everyone know what your business is. Let everyone know what you are up to in the world, and start to get to know one another, because we are definitely going to be needing these. We are definitely going to be needing these each other moving forward. So first of all, allow me to introduce myself, because I know that there's a lot of new people in the Profit-preneur Circle. I created the Profit-preneur Circle because I wanted to create a Facebook group that really stood out amongst all the other Facebook groups there. And how we're doing that is because, number one, we really focus on teaching you guys strategies to not only market to affluent clientele, but we also are teaching you strategies to be able to scale your business in a way that works for you, utilizing the profitology process. So we offer a lot of support in here. We offer free trainings every single Thursday. And then every, couple months or so, we have a profit intensive. And we've actually got one coming up. Hope you guys have all registered, because it is an exceptionally good way to do business right now, called Collaborate to Accelerate. And so we are going to be, we teach you guys here. We've got resources for you. And in fact, we're about to up-level this circle to even a new level. We also keep the circle really clean and high vibe in terms of making sure that this is not a Facebook group about getting to some numbers. In fact, really about every quarter, we usually remove like 500 to 1,000 people out of the circle who are either just here, to spam you guys, or they're looky-loos and they're not serious about business. So if you're here, make sure you let us know, because we are in our clean out process right now. And anyone who's not active and not participating and not showing up, we remove to keep everything really high vibe. So for those of you who don't know me, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kelly O'Neill. I am a brand marketing and profit strategist, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and service-based professionals market to affluent clientele by positioning themselves in their market to be leaders and to make their competition irrelevant. And I've been doing this I've been doing my career for much longer. I've had my own business for 20 years. I made it. Not only did I make it through the last recession, but I actually thrived through the recession. My business catapulted in growth during the last recession. And I am going to share with you, because that was not an accident. It was absolutely strategically planned, and it was intentional. It was intentional for me to structure my business in a way that, while so many people who were not prepared ended up closing down, losing their businesses, that my business grew and my clients' businesses grew. And we're going to be talking about that today, because, as you guys know, and this is going to be a real, let me put it this way. I am not sugarcoating this conversation for you guys. I'm going to let you know what I think that you can expect and what is about to happen. Those of you who have not been in business during the last recession, I am going to share with you what you can expect, and I'm going to also tell you how to prepare for it. because it is absolutely possible to thrive through this. It is possible to grow. It is possible to serve the world in phenomenal ways and help a lot of people out. So I'm just checking in here on everyone who's saying hi. Hi, Dennis. You're watching from Germany. I know Dennis was on our Marketing to Millionaires live stream, which, by the way, you guys, is going away tomorrow. I see Alice here, who is, I know you are up in Canada. We've got Mary Lamborn, who's a Profitology Business Incubator member, as well as Kill, as well as here, who is also an incubator member. We got Audrey Richardson. All right, there's so many of you online. So here's my one request. If you get value, please do invite people to come and join us in here, because we are going to really step it up to help you guys through this challenging time. So, like I said, it is possible to thrive through this time. And I want to know I want to know a little bit about where you guys are in this process. So if you could drop in the chat, kind of how you're feeling. And I want you to be honest about it. If you're excited, say you're excited. If you're scared and you're nervous, by all means, please say that as well. There's a lot of changes going on. And I think that one of the things that is so important is to know that you're not alone in this, right? So even if you're living in a house where you're the only entrepreneur, you're not alone. You have us. We're here for you, right? We're here for you. Everyone in this community is going to be here for one another. And again, we are stepping it up here in the circle to be able to provide you guys with the support and the resources that you need, including one of the things, I don't know if you guys saw this, but we are going to start daily good, we are going to start, whatchamacallit, we are going to start a posting every day called the Good News Train. Because here's the thing. When you're isolated, and especially in this kind of situation, when you're isolated, and a lot of entrepreneurs say to me, like, I feel I feel like I'm like alone. Like I'm in the house, I'm on my computer, you're searching social media, you're watching the news. It does not look awesome, right? It's not looking awesome. And it can be anxiety producing. It could be anxiety producing when you're seeing some of the images that the media are sharing and some of the things that are coming out in the news or in postings. And I mean, it could be, I see Christina says here that she's feeling, up and down, right? And then my clients are kind of saying, I feel anxious on the personal side, but I know my business will thrive this year. I've set my clients up for that. Brenda, same thing. She said, I called a new client today, and she said, let's get started. So Brenda just signed a new client today. So I want to know how you guys are feeling. So keep sharing that. Here's two things that entrepreneurs need in a time like this in order for you to make it through. Number one is clarity, and number two is a strategy, right? You need clarity and you need a strategy in order to make it through. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. So here we go. The last time we were in a recession in 2008, 9, back in there, I watch markets. That's part of what I do as a strategist. That's what I do as a client. In fact, actually in the beginning of 2019, in January, I did my State of the Union and I told everyone, you guys, we know we're going to go into a recession. We know we are. It's just a matter if it's happening in 2019 or 2020, right? But we know we are. And what we didn't know was that we were going to have a national pandemic or an international pandemic that was going to force us into a recession, but we were already heading there anyways. So my business, my client's business, we've been preparing for this. Okay. Now, it does not mean if you've not been preparing for this that you're screwed, right? Although I will tell you, you need to get into action very quickly, not panicked action, but now is the time, right? If you do not change the way that you've been doing business, this is what's going to happen. I've watched it before. I read all the analyst reports. I am on a bunch of, involved with a bunch of people who do market research. I buy market research reports. This is going to be a culling of businesses. This is going to be a great culling of businesses. People that were either not prepared, chose not to adapt and change, and keep trying to do things the way that they did. And if they are mispositioned, or they've been kind of treating their business like a hobby, they're not going to make it through. They're just not. Now, I don't wish anyone to have awful circumstances. I don't wish anyone to fail. But you have a choice, right? We all have a choice about how we choose as leaders, which, by the way, if you're running a business, you're a leader, right? You're a leader to your clients. You're a leader to your team. You're a leader. We all have a choice about how we choose to respond when things like this happen. And, I'm going to kind of pull for this training today on not only my skill set. Prior to even opening my own business, I was a crisis communication strategist and brand positioning expert and PR expert for tech companies. So I would get hired to come in to either reposition companies to help them get acquired or public or increase their business valuation. But I would also get called in when there was a crisis at hand, to be able to handle the crisis and help the business spin to the next level during a crisis when everyone thought they were going to get taken out. So I know a bit about this, right? That's literally my background and my expertise. And I've utilized that same knowledge and expertise in my own business. So when I saw the last recession coming, like I said, I pivoted and I started going after and setting my business up to be recession proof. And that is why we grew. And I will tell you, so many businesses went under because, again, they were not prepared. They were sticking their head in the sand, or they threw their arms in the air and kind of gave up and said, well, I'm just not going to make it through this recession. I might as well just give up now. Okay. So you have a choice about whether or not that's going to be you, right? Now, for those of us who have not chosen that route and we're like, oh no, there's actually, I'm going to look at the opposite side of this. There's a lot of opportunity in here. There is opportunity to grow and scale in your markets. There are opportunities to help way more people who still need your help. In fact, arguably, they probably need your help more now than they did a month ago, right? They need your help now more than they did a month ago. So this is a great opportunity for those of us who are prepared and who are ready to take a stand and go out into the marketplace and lead, not only lead our clients, but help lead the world through this transition. Not only do you have the opportunity to grow and potentially double, triple your business, but you also have the opportunity to stand at the top of your market. Because one of the biggest challenges that we've had, and I've talked about this as well, especially with the growth of online marketing, is that markets have become very saturated. Markets have become very saturated, right? Do you feel like, how many coaches do you know? How many, you think, how many life insurance people do you know? How many consultants do you know? How many authors do you know? They're everywhere, right? So one of the things that's going to happen is those who chose not to get prepared, which is obviously not you who are here watching this because you're like, girlfriend, tell me how to get prepared now, which I'm going to. It's not you guys, but this is actually good news for us in terms of a business market. In terms of a business market, all of the noise that's been out in the marketplace from these people that have been doing all the things and their messaging isn't clear and they're just kind of like creating confusion in the market, they're not going to make it through this, right? So you either need to step up and get real strategic using the 5 steps I'm going to teach you today, or be at risk for being a casualty. Okay? Because not everyone's going to make it through. Not everyone's going to make it through this recession. So what people need. So I want to kind of back up to the psychology of this. I want to back up to the telling me how you guys are doing, right? Yeah, and I will also tell you, like, our clients are, if you can actually tell who our clients are in here, because we have been really working with them. Yeah, here's Toy saying, I'm more focused than ever, right? You know, you can tell who's been working with us, right? So all right, guys. So here's the thing. I want to give you, we've got 2 things at play right now in the marketplace going on. And both of them are creating something that works against our natural order. So we've got, number 1, the whole COVID situation, right? The whole COVID situation, which is devastating. It's a tragedy. It is obviously worrisome for a lot of reasons. But then we also have the result of the COVID situation is we are now going to get pushed into a recession and potentially even a depression. Okay. Now, again, I don't say this to scare you. I say this because it's the reality of the situation. And now's the time to get prepared. You can thrive through a recession. There's, aside from listening to, with the COVID situation, aside from listening to what the experts are telling us, and doing our part by, staying home and bringing our, there's not a whole heck, there's not a whole heck of a lot we can do, right? We can make donations, we can support people, and we can make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and our loved ones, and potentially supporting, if you're in that place, to be able to support some of the organizations, whether it be through making masks or whatever's going on. There's ways to be able to support that. With the recession, like we've been here before, we kind of know what to expect during a recession. We just do. Okay, so here's what I want to let you know. This works against the natural order, because here's what we know for sure. You guys may have heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And what Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it talks about the specific needs that we have as human beings. And this is so important in the way that you communicate and you market to your clientele, that you understand this. And that is that we as human beings both need certainty and uncertainty. Okay, so certainty looks like we need to know that we feel safe in our world. We need to know that we feel stable, that we feel secure, that we know we're gonna make it through and survive. Uncertainty looks like we need variety, we need change, we need surprises, we need adventure, that sort of thing. Well, right now, the biggest issue that people are having, obviously, is we have a tremendous amount of uncertainty in the world. A tremendous amount of uncertainty. And when there is uncertainty in the world, what happens is it changes the way that people operate in their daily lives, and it changes the way that they operate in their purchase habits. So as a leader, one of the most important things that you need to be able to do for your clients is help them see the certainty in the uncertain. So I'm going to give you a great example. When I was on the call yesterday with one of my Profitology Business Academy clients, who is just doing so well, so well, making leaps and bounds during this time. And she runs, her name is Wendy, and she runs a company called Divorce Rehab for Women, where she helps women through the uncertain times of divorce. And so right now, one of the pain points of her specific clients is that, they're nervous because the courts have been put on hold and they don't know what to do. And so what she's done is she's come in and she's really taken a stand for her clients and said, yeah, so you can't control that. But here's what you can control. You can continue to heal. You can continue to grow. You can continue to thrive. So being able to shift in your business to a place um, of uncertainty to being the light at the end of the tunnel that your clients need, which means you need to keep yourself in that place. Okay. So my first piece of advice to you guys is stay informed, don't get sucked in. So I want you to think about this, because I know a lot of you don't have to admit who you are, but you spend a lot of time surfing Facebook during the day, right? And you're reading stuff and you're looking at news articles and that sort of thing. I really recommend that you limit yourself to like 20 minutes a day. Okay? 20 minutes a day, reputable source, get the information you need, stay off of it. Right? You do not need your brain seeped in that information chronically, because there's literally no good that can come from it. Right? Once you've got the information, you don't need to keep pelting yourself and allowing that information to continually come in. We need this time is we need to be changing our purview and focusing on what we can do, right? Okay, because there's a lot of things you can't control right now. So focusing all your attention on the things you cannot control is going to create what? Anxiety. Focusing your attention on the things you can control, on the ways you can innovate, on the ways you can create, on the ways you can move forward, rise ahead, get innovative, get creative. That is going to be not only better for you personally, but it's going to be better for your clients. It is going to be better for your communities, your families. And which one do you think is going to have a better opportunity of thriving through this, right? The one who's, sucked in watching all the media all day long, or the person who is saying, you know what, I'm going to look for the way through. I'm going to consistently look for the way through. Because it's kind of like, when you were taught to ride a bike, what did mom and dad, whoever taught you to ride a bike? Don't look down, right? Because where your attention goes, your energy flows. Utilize your energy as a leader to create solutions during this time, to create innovations, to double down on service, to rise above, to be that beacon that people need right now. Be the voice of reason in your market, okay? It is critical that you as a leader make that mindset shift. You've got to make that mindset shift, and you've got to switch. So there's a lot, this is why we started the good news train here in the Profit-preneur Circle, because there's so much good going on, but it's getting overshadowed by all of the horrible shit in the media, right? And it's not that it's not a reality. It's just, it's not where I want you to put your attention if you're wanting to actually be a solution during these times, as opposed to just sitting by in that place of victim, right? If you're doing all you can, if you're staying home, if you are taking care of, if you're taking care of yourself, that's one of the other things I've done personally is I have an autoimmune, I have some autoimmune challenges. I am taking extra better care of myself. I've got my lemon water here. I am in my sauna every day. I've got my vitamin C. I've got my zinc. Like, I'm taking exceptional good care of myself. I'm reading something inspirational and that helps me grow every day. Get your brain in the habit of that. What else can I create today? How can I create more service, more transformation, more healing in this world? be that person, not only for yourself, but for all of those around you. Okay. So that's my first thing. You've got to shift your mindset and you've got to start thinking like a leader. One of the things I said to my clients is like, practice time is over. It's game time. It's game time. And you got to suit up and you got to get in the game and you got to have your head in the game, right? Because if your head is everywhere else, and I know for a lot of you, that's challenging. You've got little ones at home. All of a sudden you've become the homeschool teacher. You don't know what, you're trying to figure out how to make dinner with what you got in the fridge. Like you're not running out to the store. Some of you have your partners at home and you're like, that's a whole dynamic I didn't back. So like sit down, have a family meeting, talk about how you can, as a family, thrive through this time. Get creative. That's a great lesson to teach your kids, right? But you've got to be proactive in that situation. And if you need help and support, I invite you guys to ask for it here in the Profit-preneur Circle. There are so many people that are in the same situation here as you, and we keep this community really high vibe. We're not going to be having any big political rants. Like we're not going to be having it. It's not about that, right? Our philosophy in our company and in our communities is you create or complain, right? And we don't complain. So, because it's just not a good use of energy. So how can we all support one another through this? Okay, that's my first thing. I want to dive into my recession proofing plan, and I want to talk to you about the things that not only I've done for myself, but also the things that I've helped my clients with to prepare for this recession and to prepare for any recession. So the first thing is, number one, your market positioning, right? How other people see you in the market, your go-to market strategy is absolutely critical. And making sure that you've positioned yourself as a market of one is more critical now than ever. Now, if you are in the Profitology Business Incubator, you guys know, this is one of the first things that I focus on, and this is really not being done other places. Like we don't get out there, we don't do all the things. The first thing we do is we get real clear on how you're going to lock up your marketplace in your area and be the market leader of what you stand for. Here's a great example of this. Whenever anyone asks, who is the leading expert of marketing to the affluent, my name is going to pop out of their mouth, right? I've been doing this. I've been teaching this for a very, very, very long time. I launched the Marketing to Millionaires program in 2008. And it is the only program on the marketplace that is teaching what I teach. Just simply, there's no one else teaching what I teach. And the reason is because it's not only a combination of my marketing strategies, but because I was raised affluent. And I understand, and it is ingrained in me how they think, how they buy, how they purchase. I locked that up, right? I am untouchable. I mean, I've talked to a bunch of different leaders because I'm collaborating a ton with people right now. And they've said, other people try to copy you, but like you own the space. That's what you want. You want a space that you own that is very clearly communicated. So strategy number one is you have to position yourself as a market of one. If you sound like everyone else out there, you are at risk of becoming a casualty. You have to stand out and your messaging needs to be super clear. So that's strategy number one. Strategy number two is focus and simplify. So one of the things that I am a big proponent of and I teach people is, and by the way, you guys, if you've got questions at the end of this, I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Normally I don't do that on here, but I'm going to be adding in some Q&A for you guys over the course of the next several weeks to help you guys through. So focus and simplify. Like people think more is more is not more. Focus and simplify, right? It's now is the time to get laser focused. You do not need to be doing all the things, right? Now is the time to get that laser focused offer. When we teach people how to do cash infusions, we tell them like you need to focus, like you're not doing 10 different marketing campaigns, right? It works against you. Confucius said, a man who chases two rabbits catches none. So you've got to remember Pareto's principle that 80% of your results is going to come from 20% of your actions. You need to get rid of the distractions. You need to find what you are genius at, and you need to align all aspects of your business to support that. If you are attempting to fill 9 different programs right now, I'd get it down to 1. I want you to get laser focused and really simplify. Now, the only caveat to this is if you are watching this, like as an example, I have a team of, I think at last count, I have 12 people. So different people on my team have different focuses, but as an organization, we are very laser focused on one thing, right? We've got kind of like, I call it the champagne glass. At the top, I talked about this at the Marketing to Millionaires live stream that you guys saw. Remember, I talked about the champagne glass. And when you're doing things strategically, you're focusing your attention on pouring the champagne at the top, and then it funnels down to all the other avenues. That's the most strategic use of your time. So get rid of the distractions, find what you're a genius at, and align your business to support that. Okay? So that's number 2. So number 1, you need to position yourself as the go-to person in your market. Number 2 is you need to focus and simplify. The third thing is you need to get strategic. I also talked about this, and I trained on this at the Marketing to Millionaires event and in the live stream. But one of the things that we talked about was that there's a very big difference between strategy and tactics. And I wish I had my page open. We'll find this quote for you that's like my favorite quote from Lao Tzu, which is, a strategy, it's something to the effect of strategy without tactics is the slowest route to victory. Tactics without strategy is the noise before the defeat. So I really work to train people on the difference between being strategic and being tactical. I actually talked to a brand new client a couple days ago, and the entire reason that his business is not getting anywhere is because he's worked with all of these people on a bunch of tactics, right? So, he hired someone to help him increase his blog traffic. He hired someone to help him run Facebook ads. But there's no strategy, right? There's no strategy. There's just a bunch of doing stuff, right? The strategy is the why. Why are we doing this? And for what purpose? Your tactics are, how are we going to get to this result in the most strategic way? And then you can strategically implement those tactics and take strategic action. But if you're out there just doing stuff to do stuff, because it feels good, because it can, right? It can be really addictive to just get shit done. But that's not I don't want you to be busy. I want you to be, productive and results producing and generating revenue. We have a saying, in fact, our profitology tagline is strategy is the new hustle. So for all of you out there that are busy doing the hustle and grind, I would really invite you to stop, because it is not going to help you get ahead, right? It is fear-based marketing, and it reads as that. What you need to be doing is creating a very succinct strategy, and you need to be developing that strategy and executing it. Okay? So you need to get strategic, because if you just keep doing stuff the way that you did this before, it's going to be problematic. Okay? Number 4 is utilize integrated marketing communications. So I wrote an article called The Curse of the Online Business Model, which at the time, thank God we have my feelings still hold true about it, but thank God we have the ability to work online, right? And I'm not dissing online marketing at all, right? In fact, actually, obviously, I'm marketing online to you right now, right? I'm training you guys online. So, and I have a podcast. We're actually about to launch a brand new podcast, Marketing to Millionaires. We've got the blog. It's an important piece of marketing, but it's not the only piece It's not the only piece. So through this recession, once especially we get past the COVID challenge, networking and face-to-face is so important, right? Right now, obviously, we're not doing that, or we shouldn't be doing that. And taking it online is a great thing to do, right? Taking it on, there's some weird lady walking around in the front of my house. Okay, anyways, taking it online is really important. And there's been a lot of like virtual cocktail parties. We're gonna actually start hosting them in here. I'm gonna start doing some live Q&A sessions for you guys, not about particular strategy, but just like ask me anything about like leadership or that kind of thing. But what I really wanna see you guys do is utilize more offline marketing tools throughout this recession. Again, not right now, but there's still things you can do. Like as an example, one of several of our clients are actually creating brand new lumpy mail campaigns, right? So they're creating these campaigns, which you can have everything shipped to your house. You can prepare them all, and then you can walk down, when you see your mail carrier come by, you can be like, hey, here, right? You can have everything shipped to you. You can do lumpy mail from home. There's different ways to get, because what's going to happen now is everyone's going to start flooding online. And then a lot of people are going to be creating noise because they have no message. They're doing all the things. They're just like blah, 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 blah. And then people are going to start tuning out. So we need to get creative in the way that we are communicating with our clientele. There's a lot of different ways that I teach this. Utilize voice clips, text messaging. You're going to have to get into the lanes where not a lot of people are, because everyone's going to flock to social media and everyone's going to start, pilfering everyone with emails. So what else? We want you to use integrated marketing communications, but I really want you to be strategic, and especially if you're marketing to your more affluent clientele, the best ways to reach them. Now, again, in the live stream that we taught, which by the way, I don't know if I said this before, it's still available. Tomorrow is the last day to buy it. So if you want that, now's the time, because we're pulling it down. Well, we're not pulling it down. We're still, everyone that has it is going to have it, but we are taking, we're not going to be selling it anymore after this. So that was kind of a one-time deal. So utilizing really creative integrated marketing communications are going to be unexpected right now. So one of the things I say is when everyone else goes left, go right. When everyone else zigs, you need to zag, right? So watch what the herd is doing, step outside the herd, right? Step outside the herd, get creative, get innovative. One of the greatest ways to be able to get creative and get innovative is to get off of your computer, right? It's to, go sit out in your backyard and dream for a little bit. If you've got in-house exercising, jump on your treadmill and walk and think. Go take a bubble bath. I don't know about you, but my best ideas happen in the bubble bath, the shower, and my sauna, right? That's like where the ideas happen. So get yourself into that place where you can get creative. Again, you have an opportunity to stand out in a sea of confusion and noise right now. And that is going to help you thrive through. Okay. And the fifth strategy is you need to market to affluent clientele. I'm not going to go into all the marketing research, but when we did the event, look, you need to start marketing to a higher target audience, because these individuals still have money, and your affluent clientele look at this as a way to double down, right? My affluent colleagues and I are like creating like crazy. Like I can't keep up with the meetings, and it's not a creating out of a place of frenzy or desperation of a fear. It's like this is the opportunity to slingshot forward, right? Because all of these people are like sputtering, they're spinning around, they're constricting, they're like, I'm not spending money. Do you know how cheap Facebook ads are now? Not that I'm suggesting that as a tactic for your affluent clientele, but they're so cheap right now. So my clients are like going and buying them like crazy right now. Right? People are still spending money. We've signed multiple clients this week. There are people out there. When the recession came beforehand, This was the time that people came in, and I will tell you, it was so hard to buy. It was so hard to buy investment property in Las Vegas because people were coming in with all cash offers and buying up the entire valley. Right? So because they were in a position to do that, and during a recession, money gets cheap, right? There's more, it's the law of supply and demand. You can hire people less expensively because they need jobs. You can, we've got to keep they know that they've got to keep the money circulating, but a house that maybe like an investment property that maybe they were going to buy for, $300,000 3 months ago is now $150,000. They just saved $150,000. They're going to go buy 3 of them. So people are investing, they are spending money, but I will also tell you they've got to have the money to be able to do that. That is why you need to market to affluent clients now, right? You need to diversify your portfolios. I don't care what you're doing in your business. A lot of people are jumping online saying, oh, do online courses. There's lots of online courses out there. There's lots, unless you are so well positioned, and even still, it is so much more expensive to be able to market those types of things. Right? When you're marketing to your affluent clientele, which by the way, a lot of people don't, just because they simply have all this stuff in their head about why they can't, right? They have all this stuff in their head of why they can't, well, I don't know how, I don't know where to find them. Well, guess what? I may know someone who knows how to do all those things, and we teach it regularly, right? So you've got to start focusing on your more affluent clientele. They're also much less likely to have any kind of cash flow interruptions, right? They've got lines of credit. They've got the money to invest in you. So if you are marketing to the masses, and also there's a different thinking, right? There is a scarcity-minded thinking versus an abundant-minded thinking. So when you're heading into a recession, your affluent clients are like, oh my gosh, huge opportunity, huge opportunity, huge opportunity. This is the time for me to slingshot ahead. This is the time for me to shore up my next 10 years. Whereas scarcity-minded individuals are like, panic, hoard, save your money, don't do anything. And that is the first nail in the coffin for business owners. That's the first nail in the coffin, is when you restrict. Now's the time, for you to expand strategically. And one of the ways to do that is by marketing to these higher end clientele. Also, I will tell you, they're going to be a lot easier to get a hold of now because they're at home, right? And they're not used to being at home. They're used to be out jet setting, right? They're high performance, high drive, high results. They are bored shitless, right? And they're like, what can I do? So now's a great time to be able to reach out to them and get in front of them. These millionaire markets are not going to be hit as hard by the recession, and they've got disposable incomes and the mindset to boot. So those are my 5 recession-proof tips. So again, number 1, position yourself as a category leader. Number 2, focus and simplify. Number 3, get strategic. And number 4, utilize those creative, innovative, integrated marketing communication strategies. And now's the time to market to affluent clients. Okay. So this is what you guys are going to need. You've got to make this mindset shift. You've got to change your strategy. And, ultimately, all entrepreneurs now more than ever are going to need these killer strategies. They're going to, and I'm not talking everyday strategies like the mass marketing stuff that's being taught all over the place. That's not going to help you through, right? That's not going to help you through. You've got to get creative here. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you have got to be aligned in a community filled with possibility. You've got to be aligned in a community filled with possibility who can support you through this time, so that when you start to rabbit hole, right, or you get caught off guard or something happens, they rally around you. Right? We are going to help you with that here in the Profit-preneur Circle. I know that our existing, our Profitology Business Incubator which by the way, the price of that is also going up tomorrow. So if that has been something you've been interested in, you've been holding the gun, now would be a good time to reach out to your concierge and handle that. But you've got to be in a community, and you need accountability, right? And you are not your best accountability partner. So either get an accountability buddy, or get, like that is one thing that we offer in our programs is accountability, so that you guys are not rabbit holing and see if let's see. Down here. Jackie, I'll have to talk to you about that. I don't know what one deal you're talking about. I love it. Grishel says, my best ideas come when I'm on my horse in the woods. Fantastic. Go, Roger, go. Yes, Anthony, that is such a good saying. Old Wall Street saying, bear markets are when shares return to their rightful owners. So one of my big sayings is, and I say this to my clients consistently, in times like this, wealth is simply being redistributed. It's being redistributed, and it's being redistributed between the timid and the brave. Those people who constrict and become timid are going to lose their footing. The brave who are getting out there and taking stands in their markets and getting creative and hitting the gas. Like we talked about this a lot in our PBA or Profitology Business Academy meeting the other day. Hit the gas. Those are the people that are going to thrive. The brave. So yeah, be brave. I'm trying to see. Hi Deb. Deb says great stuff. Miss you. I miss you too, sister. Let's connect. I'll PM you. Okay. Christina is asking for the link to the incubator. It's profitologybusinessincubator.com. You can go check it out. We are actually going to be raising the price after Friday, several $1,000s. Let's see here. Yeah, be brave. You guys, I am here for you. We are going to be coming. I want to know how we can support you. So we're going to be adding things in the circle. Like, again, I'm going to start a new Zoom meeting, like Ask Kelly Anything. I'm not providing strategic consulting in that, but like, if you're like, how do you personally handle stuff like this? Or, what would be your biggest piece of advice for this? Or, anything that we can do to support you, we are going to do that. We are going to be releasing some extra trainings to you guys. We've got a live masterclass next Tuesday on the 5 keys to really enroll 6 figures of affluent clients. We're going to be putting that out. We're going to be bringing extra experts in. We're starting the good news train. And you let us know, help us create. What would you like? What would be supportive to you in this time? Would you like daily inspiration messages? Let us know. Let us know what let us know what we can do to support you, because look, we are all in this together. And us entrepreneurs we are a breed of our own. We are a breed of our own. We got to stick together through this. We're happy to help you. We are, this is what we do. This is our purpose in this world, is to help you thrive and live from a place of choice. And we have a lot of choices. We have a lot of choices. So be good to one another. Be there for one another. Collaborate to accelerate. Let us know how we can support you. And we will make it happen. We will make it happen. My team and I are here for you. The other Profit-preneur Circle members are here for you. In fact, maybe we'll start a thread today about how other people would be willing to support other people. Now's a really great time to give, right? Now's a really great time to give. Help people through this. All right, everyone. I want to thank you so much for joining on this. If you found this to be valuable and interesting, please share this. You can't really share the training outside the group, but what you can do is tell people to come in here and listen. Make sure they answer the 3 questions. Have them come in here and listen. Have them join this party. And again, we're going to keep it super high vibe in here for you. So when you need just a moment like of high vibeness, come hang out with us. We'll bring it to you. All right, I'm sending all of you and your families so much love. I'm sending you guys best wishes and best health. And it's go time, guys. It's time to get creative. I'll see you guys all soon. Let us know how we can support. Bye-bye.